That is a well-loved hub.
Oh, man.
A big thanks to my sponsors, Ibis Cycles, Kitspo Cycling Apparel, Cali Protectives, Trust Performance, PNW Components, WTB, Industry 9, Camelback, Shimano, and Jensen USA. Any purchases from the below links at Jensen USA will directly help support my channel as well. Are you recording? Sweet. Industry 9 torch hubs versus the Hydra hub. How are they different on the trail? What's up, guys? Some of you might really like super high engaging hubs. Me, I have to admit something here. I've never really been an engagement snob per se. So today I wanted to test the older Industry 9 torch hubs versus the newer Hydra hub and kind of see how different they feel on the trail.
The wheels with the red stickers have the Hydra hub, whereas the wheels with the black stickers have the torch hub. Most people say they notice high engagement hubs, or the lack thereof, most in technical, rocky type conditions. To imitate that, I did the best I could in Western Washington here and went to the beach at low tide. On this steep ledge to rock Bunnyhop line, the first attempt with the torch hub told me that I just needed to pedal really hard up the hill. Hub engagement doesn't matter so much when you have a run-in this smooth, but I figured I'd try the line anyhow.
Can you go down one gear?
On second try, I almost had the ledge. And third try is a charm. That's with the torch hub right there. And honestly, the torch hub feels great for these kind of maneuvers. There's enough free play that you can get a little bit of inertia with your feet to help speed up the bike when you're sprinting into things. So here's the exact same line, same setup, just with the Hydra hub. Boom, it works out first try, though I didn't quite bunny hop as high as I did on the first time I made it. Let's rewind and check out one small detail. See right here, I've got a bit more control of the bike when I go to hop it forwards. I think that could be coming from the slightly higher engagement of the Hydra hub versus the torch. The goal for this line is to hop up on the two logs and then jump up to the log closer to the rock. Well, that was the goal, that was the idea, and it wasn't quite as easy as it first seemed. So with the torch hub, I could get kinda close, and eventually I did make it over to the rock, and I started to pedal up the hill, but it wasn't exactly dialed. With the Hydra hub, the first part of this, hopping onto the logs, I actually have what looks to be a little bit more control coming over to the rock. Then as I try to actually pedal up the rocks, of course I have to dab and not make it. As I start to pedal up the rock, it looks like I've got maybe just a hair more control, but that could be enough to pull this move. On this ledge to steep climb line, notice right here I lose control when I'm trying to hop forwards. Now trying it again, still with the torch hub, I'm able to get through it, and then I'm sprinting up right here to this big hop up onto the slab. All's well that ends well with the torch hub. Now let's try that same line, but with the Hydra hub. Notice the red stickers on the rims. I'm able to get through the first technical bit, first try, without too much drama. Now comes the hard part, sprinting to the bunny. Oh, almost made it. Now the quest to get that bunny hop line smooth was kind of elusive.
Oh, man.
Let's analyze this crash a little bit. Honestly, on the intro, I've got really good control, and I came in about as smooth as ever. I think the Hydra hub helped a lot for that. Now sprinting in here, and honestly, I think I just pulled up too late and essentially yanked my front wheel into the shelf, and that this crash was squarely on me.
First up, I want to answer very basic questions so that we're all on the same page here. What do I mean when I say the word engagement? Let's go back in history a little bit and explain how this came to be. So back in the day, bikes evolved from their historical fixed gear designs where the pedals are directly attached to the front wheel like on a Pennyfarthing, or with a chain to the rear wheel, kind of like what those kids in the cities ride with their fixies. And that meant that the pedals would always rotate whenever the wheel was moving. Bikes have evolved to have either a free wheel or a free hub attached to the rear wheel. and that allows the wheel to spin independently of the pedals. This means you can coast, you can go fast, and you can go slow, and your pedals are not always moving with your wheel. The majority of free wheels and free hubs use a ratcheting system consisting of pawls that then push into engagement teeth that drive the bike forwards. Now, when you go to pedal and you feel a free play before the bike actually goes forwards, that is because the pawls need to span a distance from engagement tooth to engagement tooth. I really like the new Hydra hubs, and I'm gonna explain why, and it might not be what you're thinking initially. So here we have a Hydra hub that I'm gonna put on my dirt jumper in the next week or two. Sounds pretty rad. Let's take it apart and go over how exactly it works. That's pretty easy, huh? There's 115 engagement teeth in the drive ring. They're small, but they're not impossibly tiny. How does a hub with 115 engagement teeth actually have 690 points of engagement? This is where the really cool stuff happens. There are a total of 6 pawls in here, and for explanation's sake, let's call this one right here, my finger is pawl number 1. So as a rider starts the pedal, pawl number 1 will engage an engagement tooth down on the hub shell. Now, as that's driving the rider forwards, the whole system starts to flex. It'll actually start to flex forwards. The hub's designed so that the distance that pawl number 2 needs to travel to intersect a drive tooth is very, very, very small. So as the whole system flexes, this will naturally start to engage once there's enough torque. As a rider continues to pedal, they can engage pawl 3, and on super heavy instances, they can engage pawl 4. That means it's a very soft flexing of the whole free hub body into the engagement teeth, because it's a very small distance between those engagement teeth, and the distance that this needs to flex will be quite a bit less than the prior guy. This system of the 4 different engaging pawls that are all out of sync using flex to their advantage, I think is very intelligent and should increase the durability of this quite a bit. Personally, I think the clever engineering behind the new free hub design is gonna make what was a very solid and reliable hub, the old Torch, an even better design moving forwards. Industry 9 is in Asheville, North Carolina, and I mention that because if you have any problems with their stuff and you need to get some support and some kind of small parts or what have you, they are definitely stateside and they have stock and they can help you out. If you're building up a high-end wheel set or you just want to upgrade your bike with something more reliable and more high performance than the stock parts, definitely consider the Industry 9 Hydra hub set. I have a link in the YouTube description below over to Jensen USA. They've got a great stock of Industry 9 stuff, including the complete Industry 9 wheel sets. I run a custom wheel set with the Ibis 742 rim, Industry 9 spokes, and the Hydra hubs. I'm also super curious, what kind of pedaling style do you have? High cadence? Slow cadence? And how many points of engagement are currently in your rear hub? Do you notice this? Do you wish it had better engagement? Let me know. If you like this video, click that subscribe button, tell your friends, and enjoy the trails this summer. I'll see you around.